Have you ever gone to the ice cream shop and wondered how the ice cream business was first started? My purpose for the speech today is for you to gain knowledge on the history of ice cream. I'm incredible to speak to this topic because I'm a huge fan of ice cream and plan to become an ice cream connoisseur someday. In this speech today, we will talk about the start of ice cream in general, the start of ice cream in America, and popular ice cream shops today. All of my facts stated are from the International Dairy Food Association. Many would think that ice cream was first made in the 1900s. However, they are wrong. Ice cream was first made all the way back in the 2nd century BC, but we do not know the specific date of it or the inventor. A main point of information that we know is that Alexander the Great liked to have snow and ice flavored with both honey and nectar. There were also biblical references about how King Solomon really liked to have cold drinks during harvest time. During later years in the Roman Empire, Nero Claudius Caesar made the runners run up into the mountains for snow, in which they would bring it back and flavor it with juices and fruits. Over 1,000 years later, Marco Polo had come back from Italy with a recipe that related closely to what we call today sherbet. Historians think that after he brought that recipe to America, it was later turned into ice cream. England has been thought to discover the recipe around the same time that the Italians did. They maybe even discovered it earlier. We are not sure. England called it cream ice, and it tended to appear quite frequently at Charles I's table during the 17th century. In France, ice cream wasn't introduced to the public until 1660 by a small cafe named Café Procope that blended milk, cream, butter, and eggs together. Next, the start of ice cream in America began as early as our first leadership of government. It all began in 1744 when ice cream was written about in a letter by Maryland Governor William Bladen. Later then, it first appeared as an advertisement in the New York Gazette on May 12, 1777. The advertisement wrote that ice cream was going to be available almost every day. That announcement was by confectioner Philip Lindsay. Later in 1790, records kept by a merchant in New York showed that President George Washington spent approximately $200 on ice cream that summer. Our third president, Thomas Jefferson, was a huge fan of ice cream also. He was said to have a favorite ice cream delicacy that was related close to the baked Alaska. Until the 1800s, ice cream was very rare and hard to be found. After the 1800s, the invention of insulated houses helped make the manufacturing of ice cream industry in America. In 1851, a Baltimore milk dealer that was named Jacob Fussell pioneered it. The making of ice cream increased as more inventions came around, such as steam power, mechanical refrigeration, and new freezing processes and equipment. Today, there is a total of more than 1.6 billion gallons of frozen dairy made, including ice cream. Ice cream became a very hot symbol during the World War II. Each branch within the Army were trying to outdo each other and serving ice cream to their troops. In 1945, there was the first invention of the floating ice cream parlor that was built for sailors in the Pacific. Finally, when the war ended, America had celebrated the victory with ice cream. In that year, 1946, each American had consumed over 20 gallons of ice cream. Lastly, there are many popular ice cream shops within our world today. Two very popular ice cream shops are Cold Stone Creamery and Dairy Queen. Cold Stone Creamery is a popular ice cream shop that put a twist into how ice cream was served. They decided to have their own ice cream recipe and let you pick the toppings that you want on it. Next, they mix it up right in front of you on a cold board and serve it to you right from there. This is very popular as you get to pick the toppings that you want in your ice cream instead of have to pick the choices that they only have. Dairy Queen is very popular all over the United States. When they make their ice cream, they use soft serve ice cream instead of the type of ice cream that you find in stores. They have many different items on their menu that you can pick from, but they also have a freezer at most stores where you can get ice cream cakes and also their dilly bars, which are one of my all-time favorites. Another ice cream shop that is local only to the Quad City area is Whitey's Ice Cream. Whitey's Ice Cream only has 10 locations in total, but the products are also sold in Hy-Vee and Fairway. Their ice cream is very special as it is especially made as normal ice cream that you would buy in the store instead of the soft serve. There is something special about Whitey's Ice Cream that makes it different than all the other ice creams out there, but we are not sure what it is. To conclude this speech on ice cream today, we talked about how ice cream first got started, how ice cream first got started in America, and popular ice cream shops. I hope you learned a lot about ice cream today and try a new, different kind. Thank you for listening.